Alrighty, students, here is your strategies for keeping focus mini lesson. So we've talked a lot about sustained attention and focus, areas that might be weaknesses of your own personally. So today we're going to talk about strategies you can use for those times when it is difficult for you to pay attention. Pay attention to me. Sometimes your teachers might be thinking that if you're looking at your phones or not listening. How to strengthen your attention. That's what we're going to be talking about today. All right, so first of all, we need to know why, okay? Why do we need to pay attention? What's this all about, okay? So to understand directions, if your teacher is telling you to do something, a coach is telling you to do something, a parent's telling you to do something, a friend, a boss, okay? They're telling you to do something and how to do it. If you're not paying attention to their directions, you're not going to know how to do that thing. If you're just listening to a friend, right? Listening to what someone has to say is really part of being a good friend. Hearing what your boss or teacher has to say, this is going to be especially important, okay, once you graduate from high school, get in the workforce. If you're not able to pay attention to your boss, you're probably going to struggle with your job. And then hearing important details in emergency, right? If something goes awry and you need to be listening to whoever's giving the directions, that is kind of an extreme case, but also it's very important as well. All right. The simple act of paying attention can take you a long way. All right, so here are some different strategies that you can use for keeping focus. One thing I want to note is that these need to be utilized in a way where it is actually easier for you to pay attention. So sometimes people say, oh, I need a fidget, but that fidget is actually more of a distractor. Okay, so making sure that some people, fidgets are actually really helpful. Some people, they're more like toys. Okay, so making sure that you're using it appropriately so that you can actually pay attention is important. So one strategy, right, using a fidget, there's a whole variety of different fidgets, as many of you know. Another one, doodle. In earlier lessons, I did talk about how that is one that I like to use. Oh, Gizmo, coming in. I like to doodle or just kind of like write words as I listen to people. Taking notes, okay, that's another one that I like to use. If you notice, I actually have notes from my meeting earlier today, jotting little things down just to make sure that I'm kind of checking in is something that I use. Taking breaks. So maybe it's not really realistic for you to sit for 30 minutes and pay attention. So knowing, hey, I need to take a break after 15 minutes. That's my max. Even if it's just getting up, getting a drink of water and coming back, taking breaks can be really helpful for breaking up the work that you're doing. Sitting in the front. So not really applicable during distance learning, but once school gets back in session, when you're right there and that teacher's right in front of you, oftentimes it's a lot easier to pay attention than if you're in the back and there's a lot of students in front of you and distractors that you might see. Chewing gum. I know this one is especially helpful for me if I'm tired because it kind of helps me wake up. Doing some sort of motion, repetitive motion, kind of helps me wake up and still maintain focus. And the final one is giving yourself checkpoints. Okay, so maybe after every 5 minutes, double checking, oh, hey, was I paying attention? Do I know what just happened? Or was I daydreaming? Okay, so giving yourself some little checkpoints. I know that these are not the only ways to pay attention, but I just wanted to go over a few of them for you today. You might have other strategies that you use, and that's awesome. Okay, so your lesson for today, you need to pull up the Google form. Oopsies. And I want you to pick 3 strategies that can work for you to pay attention. So think about what we talked about last week, those weaknesses, those areas where it's hard for you to pay attention. And I want you to think of 3 different strategies that you can use for those times. Okay, it could be ones directly from this PowerPoint, okay, or they could be other ones that you know that work well for you. So go ahead. Once you're done with that, you are done with the lesson for today. Thank you.